What happens to your muscles after you die? Muscles are a fascinating part of the body, designed to move, support, and adapt to challenges like exercise. The human body contains approximately 600 muscles, which make up around 40 to 50% of total body weight in an average adult. These muscles are categorized into three types: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Skeletal muscles, the ones attached to your bone via tendons, are the ones primarily involved in voluntary movement and are the most affected by exercise. Out of the 600 muscles, about 200 major skeletal muscles are actively engaged during physical activity, ranging from large muscles like the quadriceps in your thighs to your pectoral muscles in your chest, to the more smaller, stabilizing muscles like the rotator cuff or even the forearm flexors. Exercise can target these muscles directly, for example lifting weights, affecting the bicep, or indirectly through compound movements like squatting, activating the glutes, hamstring, and core. While smooth and cardiac muscles, such as those of the heart and digestive system, are not under conscious control, regular exercise still benefits them by improving overall blood flow, endurance, and health. This interconnected system ensures that the training of skeletal muscles has far-reaching effects throughout the entire body. But after death, everything that keeps the muscles functional and growing comes to a complete halt. Understanding what happens to the muscles after you die first requires knowing how they work, how they grow, and function while you're still alive. How the muscles work and grow during our lives. Muscles are made up of thousands of fibers bundled together, and their primary job is contraction, pulling on your bone to create movement. These contractions are powered by adenosine triphosphate, ATP, the body's energy currency, which is produced using oxygen and nutrients like glucose and fat. How growth occurs: hypertrophy. Exercise-induced damage. When you lift weights or perform strenuous activity, you cause tiny tears in your muscle fibers. Your body sees this as damage and activates repair mechanisms. Repairing and reinforcing. To fix those tears, your body uses protein synthesis, a process where muscle cells build new protein to strengthen the fibers and make them more resilient to future stress. The role of hormones. Hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and insulin-like growth factor, IGF-1, act as the construction managers, sending signals to your muscles to grow and repair. Without these signals, hypertrophy would not occur. Nutrients are key. Proteins from your diet provide energy, building blocks, amino acids for muscle repair, while carbohydrates and fat fuel the energy-intensive process. How the muscles maintain themselves. Even when you're not actively growing, muscles are in a constant state of upkeep. Cells break down, old proteins are replaced with new ones to help the tissue function. This balance is called protein turnover and is powered again by ATP and regulated by mTOR pathway, which is the brain of your muscle cells. Muscle breakdown prevention. While building muscle, it is important that your body also works to prevent excessive breakdown, known as catabolism. Anabolic hormones like testosterone suppress muscle loss, ensuring you don't lose strength and unnecessary size. In life, muscles are dynamic, constantly adapting to how you use them, but everything about the system, energy production, hormone regulation, and protein synthesis depends entirely on you being alive. What happens immediately after death? The moment your heart stops, your body begins shutting down rapidly. Here's how the impact occurs on your muscles. Energy production stops. Without blood circulation, oxygen and nutrients, they begin to stop reaching your cell. ATP production halts instantly, leaving your muscle cells without energy they require to function. The muscles stiffen briefly in a state called rigor mortis. This occurs because ATP is required to be released and contract muscle fibers. Once ATP is gone, the fibers lock in place. This is temporary. Enzymatic self-destruction occurs. Autolysis. Enzymes inside your cells, which are regulated during your life, go rogue after death. These enzymes start breaking down the cell membranes and other structures. This process is called autolysis, essentially beginning the disintegration of muscle tissue. Rigor mortis. Peaks and then fades. The rigor mortis timeline, usually within 2 to 6 hours, sets in. The muscle loss begins. The muscles set and lose their ability to relax. This stiffness peaks around 12 hours post-death and then fades 24 to 48 hours later as the tissue breakdown progresses further. Why it fades? The same enzymes breaking down the cells eventually degrade the proteins responsible for muscle contractions, causing rigidity to disappear. Decomposition of muscle. After rigor mortis is faded, muscles enter the phase of irreversible decay. This is where decomposition takes over, driven by a combination of the body's natural processes and external factors. Bacterial invasion. Your gut bacteria, which was in check by your immune system during life, now runs wild. This bacteria migrates to other tissues, including the muscles, producing gases and breaking down proteins. This is why bloating and foul smells occur during decomposition. External bacteria and fungi also contribute, especially if the body is exposed to the environment. Muscle breakdown to simple compounds. Proteins being dismantled. Muscle proteins like actin and myosin are broken down into amino acids, which further degrade into simple molecules like amino and carbon dioxide. Ammonia. Fat breakdown. Any fats within the muscle undergo lipolysis, fat breakdown, releasing fatty acids that can be consumed by bacteria. Tissue liquefaction. Over time, muscles lose all structural integrity, turning to a liquid-like state of enzymes and microfibers, finishing their work. The stage depends on the environmental factors like temperature, moisture, but generally happening days to weeks. The role of hormones post-mortem. Hormones are critical for muscle growth during life, but after death the endocrine system, which produces these hormones, is shut down. Without anabolic hormones, like testosterone and growth hormone, protein synthesis stops. The body has no signal to repair. Catabolism dominates. Instead of growth, your body shifts entirely to breaking down the process of tissue. Can muscle be preserved after death? While muscle growth is impossible after death, preserving muscle tissue temporarily is possible through certain techniques. Cryopreservation. Freezing a body at very low temperatures can slow down cellular and bacterial activity, halting decay. However, this is not growth, it is mere preservation. Cryogenics might be present in preserving tissue structure for research, transplantation, but cannot revive or sustain indefinitely. Speculative techniques. In science fiction, ideas like nanotechnology, synthetic biology, imagine ways to restart cellular activity in dead tissue. While intriguing, these concepts remain far beyond current science, but are still popular. Why muscle growth stops after death? Muscle growth isn't just about physical tissue. It's a dynamic system requiring energy, hormones, cellular activity. In other words, life. After death, all these systems collapse. No oxygen or ATP means no energy for muscle maintenance. Autolysis and bacterial invasion break down muscle fibers irreversibly. The hormonal environment that drives growth disappears. In short, the same factors that make muscles adapt, resilient, and full of life also destroy them after death. Your muscles are a response to the intricate balance of life. They grow, repair, and adapt as long as your body can support them. After death, however, this balance unravels almost immediately. What begins as a brief period of stiffness, rigor mortis, transitions into complete breakdown of tissue through enzymatic activity and decomposition. While techniques like cryopreservation can delay decay, true muscle growth is inseparable from the process of life itself. Remember, what starts in the gym ends in the grave, but you'll die before your muscles will. So have a great workout and go out strong.